Episode 1. The episode opens up with a girl named Chisato, who tells us about an organization known as Lycoris. Chisato herself is one of the top Lycroses. She is called to an incident in which one of the Lycorises was being held hostage. The DA orders other girls not to engage in battle, but Takina now gets up and she picks up a machine gun. Miko, who was watching from another building, saw this. Takina's teammates try to stop her, but she opened fires. After shooting multiple bullets, she stops, and as the smoke disappears, the girls go inside. Takina's teammates are angry at her and one girl comes and says that she could have killed the hostage too. Takina says that she isn't dead. The girl punches Takina in the face, and later in the headquarters, Takina gets transferred for disobeying the orders. Now she will have to work with Chisato as her partner. Takina goes to Chisato's workplace where she meets Miko and a girl. After meeting with Chisato, Chisato tells Takina to call her by name and don't use miss while addressing her. She tells Takina to drink the coffee and after that, they will go to work. On the other hand, the leader of the DA tells her secretary about a hacker who was hacking their system. He calls Miko and tells him that over 1,000 guns were missing and the suspects died in the incident that happened a day before. Takina and Chisato goes to an orphanage where Chisato tells all the kids that Takina was working with her and they should call her Big Sis Takina. After the orphanage, Chisato takes Takina to a school where she asks her if she knew Russian. Takina says she knows how to speak Russian, so Chisato asks her to help the teacher. Then they go to Yakuza's place where the gateman stops them and tells them to leave, but the Yakuza boss comes there and scolds him. He tells Chisato that he was new so she should forgive him. Takina is shocked because of all this but doesn't say anything. Chisato takes out a bag from her backpack and gives it to Yakuza's boss. Takina tries to attack them but Chisato stops her. Takina then sees that inside the bag were coffee beans. At the park, Takina asks her about all this, on which Chisato says that everyone thinks that Lycoris are hitmen. But in reality, their job was to help people. She says by doing all this we helping people. From there they go to a police station where a police officer asks Chisato to be the bodyguard of a guard who was being threatened. At the cafe, they meet the girl and she shows them a picture. Takina notices that she took a picture in front of a building, and in that picture the people who were involved in the dealing of the guns were visible. Now Takina and Chisato know who these people were, so Chisato asks Takina to guard the girl till she comes back. On the way, Takina notices that they were being followed, so she uses the girl as bait. As soon the girl gets kidnapped, she comes and opens fire at the kidnappers. Chisato stops her and fight with those criminals, but instead of using lethal bullets, she uses fake bullet just to unarm them. Episode 2. Mizuki receives a message from Walnut. After finally watching the theme song anime for the first time, we quickly return to Chisato's apartment and sleep on the couch. She slowly wakes up before she realizes she will be late. Arriving at Lycoris, she refers to Mr. Yoshi as her first client. In the last episode, he was the mysterious visitor Mika reacted to with a pendant that matches the logo of the Aaron Institute. After Yoshi leaves, Chisato begins loading bullets into the pistol's magazine. Mika runs them over with a group of armed assailants chasing targets Chisato is after. Meanwhile, Chisato mentions a bag of goodies she brought for Inao, a new employee who ignores her. At the public prosecutor's office, Kusunoki is told that Walnut is dead, according to rumors circulating on the dark web. However, Kusunoki's assistant reminds her that Walnut has been reported dead many times and finds out that he is still alive. The assistant also brings up a photo analysis of the photos Chisato sent to her. After returning to Inao and Chisato asks what she plans to do after meeting a hacker named Walnut. Irritated, Inao tells her boss that the car is parked at the destination parking lot. Reminded me of waiting. They are put into a small white car driven by someone dressed in a costume resembling the rabbit squirrel that Walnut told on the virtual platform. The man in the costume also claims to be Walnut. They make small talk while Walnut takes her to another location. Chisato reveals that Lycoris wears a schoolgirl-like uniform and appears to be the least guarded in Japan. Walnut also says that a yellow suitcase secured to the passenger seat contains all his belongings. Chisato also reveals that since Lycoris does not have a family register, she will not be able to obtain a passport if she becomes an orphan, and therefore cannot travel. The white van will leave the three of them before the car flips over in the water. Watching from afar, after the crew moves to an abandoned building and effectively hides from Robota's grunts in a white van, it is revealed that Robota found them via drone and redirected the grunts in the right direction. The girls are transported in a car with Walnut's body and luggage. At least they think so. Kurumi, who is presumed dead, stands up and removes her mask to reveal Mizuki. It is revealed that the real Kurumi used the communication device inside the mask to talk to the girls without being there in person, and Mizuki piloted a bulletproof outfit with fake blood to make death look more realistic. Then, a girl with a VR headset on her head came out of the luggage suspected Walnut brought, and at the same time spoke to the Squirrel Mask's communication device and confirmed that she was the real Walnut. Reveal. They all go back to Lycoris where Walnut is hiding in a closet. Episode 3. Mizuki sees Kurumi messing around in her room. She calls Kurumi to take a picture of Sayori. Kurumi is assigned to analyze Sayori's photo to identify the assassin. This means the highest resolution for Da. Mizuki is angry with Kurumi. Kurumi heard the phone ring telling her to leave the room. Lycoris starts a board game. Takina couldn't participate in the board game because the prosecutor is coming back. Chisato promised her Takina a game party. Mika asks her that she hasn't done her physical examination or physical fitness test until now. Takina changed clothes in an instant. Chisato and Takina meet with Commander Kusunoki. On the train, Takina thinks of talking to the train commander. Chisato gives Takina candy, but she refuses. She didn't listen to her Chisato, and Takina arrive at the Da headquarters. The moment the gate opened, Chisato blew her tongue. Kusunoki sees Chisato in front of the security camera. Chisato and Takina go through a security check before entering. Kusunoki is currently in a meeting for 2 hours. The other girls in the Da office know that Takina was fired for disobeying mission orders. This enraged Chisato. Takina ran to Chisato for her gun practice. Chisato learns that Fuki is the Da for license renewal. Fuki is very annoying to Chisato and knows her partner, Takina. Meanwhile, Takina continues to practice firearms. On the treadmill, Chisato Fuki asks why Takina is coming back to Da. Chisato has to wait for her Takina before talking to Kusunoki and hugging her. Girls react. Chisato picks up Takina for a moment. Hibana comes into Erika's room and is presumed dead. Erika and Hibana join. Chisato, Fuki, and Sakura participate in a survival game before takeoff. Chisato and Fuki are still fighting. Kusunoki starts a survival game. Chisato fends him off and shoots Fuki. Fuki shoots Chisato from behind but misses. Sakura hides in a corner and Chisato steps on the door. Sakura aims at Chisato but dodges again. Chisato catches Sakura and dies. Fuki plans to wait for Chisato. Sakura misses Chisato while shooting and she runs out of ammo. Chisato shoots Sakura dead. Takina punches and shoots Fuki in the face. Chisato and Takina finally won this game. Meanwhile, Kusunoki's assistant recognizes Chisato's existence on TV. Bakar appears at headquarters and Chisato asks her Takina to take her home. Fuki calls her Takina a useless Lycoris. Fukina bandages her cheek with her Takina injury. She claims she won't lose her Takina next time. Meanwhile, Takina jokes with Erika when Takina comes. When Chisato finally gives her some candy, Takina says her Chisato is her extraordinary person. Takina smiles for the first time. Chisato receives a message from her teacher. On the way, Chisato and Takina arrive. Episode 4. Inao and Chisato at the shooting range. After a few missed shots, Inao complains about his low shooting rate. Next, we are shown a scene where Kurumi and Mika are looking at them through a computer screen. Inao discovers that Chisato is failing at the VR game. Chisato then has Inao play the VR first-person shooter she was playing. Inao wins second place against Chisato. The scene then switches to Fuki and Sakura, who are revealed to be the players Inao played against. She asks Kurumi if she's seen it before. She then runs over to Inao and checks under her skirt to make sure her eyes aren't deceiving her. Inao is wearing no panties and wearing boxer shorts. Chisato teases Inao about wearing men's underwear, but finds out that Inao has never been independent before he doesn't know what to buy, and asks Mika what his favorite is. He invites her to go buy panties the next day and shows her what the girls usually wear. The next day, Chisato is at the station. After asking Maki for advice again, Inao shows up in baggy, manly clothes. As part of Lycoris's training, Chisato sympathizes with her in her lack of fascination with fashion. The scene immediately jumps to Kurumi looking at guns online. He said the guns were not stolen from the black market as originally thought because the market has changed since then. The conversation turns to Chisato, who explains why she doesn't want to kill anyone. She doesn't want to waste her time. Inao is shocked by this answer, and the girls continue talking. Chisato briefly mentions leaving the Da's office as she is looking for someone before she pulls out the owl necklace. As we now know, the owl is a popular symbol of the Aaron Institute. To lighten the mood, Inao jumped to the center of the floor and began the silly antics. She reprimanded Chisato, much to Chisato's delight. I'm sitting, he sits with Shinji Yoshimatsu, a mysterious blonde man from the Aaron Institute. Mika asks if she's here for Chisato, but Yoshimatsu quickly says she doesn't remember, implying that it was Yoshimatsu who gave Chisato the necklace.